Recording stopped. Recording in progress. Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
There you are.
Oh, we can hear you now. Yes.
Can you provide us with the instructions in terms of the duties and responsibilities of this body as it relates to a determination of clarity?
Yes, Becky Camargo through the chair. The role of the Election Commission is to determine whether each reason for the recall is factual and of sufficient clarity to enable the officer whose recall was sought and the electors to identify the course of conduct that is the basis for the recall.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Why don't we just go through each one by way of motion? Is there a motion to entertain item 5A1?
Yes.
All right, it's been properly moved.
I have a motion. My motion is to reject this.
Before we get to it though, and we can certainly do that, wanted to give everyone an opportunity to briefly offer a statement. I will acknowledge, starting with Mayor Bazzi, that council has filed documents with the commission identifying their respective positions, and as a courtesy to all of us, we're willing to hear briefly from them. So starting with council voting the petition to authorize this petition for clarity and for recall. Council, would you identify yourself for the record?
Yes, I think I'm on the screen. So,
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor, Gary August, appearing on behalf of the petitioner.
All right. And you wish to make any brief comments, or you will rely on the filings that you presented?
I would just, and I'll be brief, understanding that the mission members have read what we submitted.
Mm-hmm.
I would just like to point out that the mayor in this case attempted to suspend the Act 78 Election Commission in the city of Dearborn Heights. His basis for doing so, as he alleged, was that it was not adopted by the voters.
Mm-hmm.
And I provided significant evidence that it was in fact adopted by the voters.
Mm-hmm.
The result of that was that 4 positions were filled in the city without going through those Act 78 procedures.
Mm-hmm.
So we have wrongful conduct of the mayor in violation of law. So it became, how do we craft that violation into a factual statement as opposed to a legal statement? And that is why we took the mayor's language of suspending the Act 78 commission and said he attempted to do so.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason we said he attempted to do so is because he had no legal basis to do so. And we wanted to avoid a legal argument of whether or not the Act 78 commission was in fact suspended.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we set it out as a factual statement, not a legal statement. The same goes with our second reason, which is that he hired these people without following the Act 78 procedures. Again, we did not want to get into a legal determination of whether or not he was required to follow the Act 78 procedures. We wanted to simply state it factually that he did not follow the Act 78 procedures, which is a fact. We believe he was required to follow them for the reasons that we set forth in our papers.
Mm-hmm.
But that's irrelevant to this panel's determination because we're just looking at facts. And in our thing, it's incontestable that he attempted to suspend the commission. And it's incontestable that those 4 members were hired without the Act 78 procedures. With respect to the clarity of the site.
You're running over your 5 minutes here. We did a great job of reading letters. So I don't know if you want,
Judge,
you want to summarize it for us.
I'll just say the last thing is that I don't see how citing a public act properly renders a petition unclear. Thank you.
Thank you. And do we have counsel representing the mayor?
Yes.
Yes.
On behalf of the mayor sitting to my left. I'll be succinct. I have really 3 points, and I'm glad that the meeting started with the standard of determining whether the electors or the officer, the gentleman sitting next to me, can identify the course of conduct that is the basis for the recall. And that's our problem here. And 3 succinct points on that. Number 1, if you're the voter and you're looking at this on the ballot and you see 1935 PA 78, okay, the people in this room may understand that that's a law. Vast majority of the voters are going to think that's gibberish. They have no idea what it is. Even if they know that it's a law, they're not going to know which law. We all would have had just about all of us would have looked that up. That's point number one. Point number two, and very important, is in order to defend this recall, the mayor has to understand what process it is that he's alleged to have violated in the Civil Service Act, the Police and Fire Civil Service Act, which is what PA 1935, PA 78 is. That's 20-some sections of acts. There's a lot of process in those 23 or so sections. So is it that an exam that he didn't follow the process for examination of the 4 individuals talked about? Is it because he didn't provide a building? Section 8 provides of the act for the members of the Civil Service Commission to sit in? Is it because the application provisions of section 10 were not followed, or the officers didn't have the requisite physical fitness provisions of section 10? Or maybe it was section 11, he didn't notify the commission of a vacancy, or maybe it was 12 regarding the proper format of the exam, or that there was not enough years of service for the individual. There's a lot of process in the 23 sections of 1935 PA 78. If you look at the Whitmer cases on her recall bid for executive orders that she passed, it listed the executive order by number, but also gave a short description of what they were, so the voters understood what they were voting on. And so the Governor Whitmer had an opportunity to say, no, I didn't breach that section. No, that section is constitutional. She knew what they were talking about. In this case, we have no idea what section of the 23 in the Police and Fire Civil Service Act were violated. So for those reasons, I'd ask that you check with one of the other reasons. But thank you.
All right, thank you. Do we have a motion?
I have a motion.
All right.
My motion is to reject this petition for lack of clarity.
Is there a support?
Support.
Is there any further discussion? I just want to say one thing for the record. My take on this is that this is really a legal issue. I think it goes well beyond what's intended by the law relative to the ministerial duties of this body in terms of making decisions as to whether or not the facts are clear and that there's sufficient basis to recall. Consequently, I support the motion and the support offered by Madam Clerk. Having no other comments, we'll proceed to a decision. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, it's unanimous. This petition for recall is denied. We'll now move to item number 5A2. Thank you. Give the room a chance to hear. As to item 5A2, matter of Susan Yvette, who is a board member of Romulus Community School. We have Ms. Hampton here. She is
this matter. Thank you.
All right, very well. Do we have a motion on this matter?
Mr. Chair, I move that petition 583 is rejected for lack of clarity.
Is there support?
Support.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. The motion to reject the recall petition is approved. We'll now move to item number 5A4, Debbie Piles. Ms. Piles, are you on the line?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Hampton, again, would you wish to offer any comments in reference to your petition involving a recall of Ms. Piles?
No, as is, as it was submitted.
All right, thank you very much. Ms.
Thank
Piles,
you.
Do you wish to offer any comments at this point?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor, and members of the Election Commission. So Ms. Hampton is aware that the statement made on this petition is false. But I know that the committee is not a decider of whether something is true or not, but whether it is clear and factual. School districts are required to maintain records for a specific period of time, depending on what those records are. And they may be stored on paper, photographs, microfilm, digital images, databases, etc. So for purposes of clarity, my question would be, what records were destroyed and what schedule is Ms. Hampton applying, the general or agency specific schedule?
You're asking
And
a
as
question
she-
let me interrupt you.
Yes,
We're not here to answer your questions. We're simply here to give you an opportunity to make a brief statement in support of
well-
your position.
yes, thank you. And that's why I'm saying that I don't believe that it's clear because those things are missing. They weren't stated. And as Ms. Hampton knows, board members do not have access to records.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion on item number 5A4?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we reject this petition for a lack of clarity.
All right, do we have a support? I'll support it. Do we have any discussion? If not, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Then the commission has voted unanimously to reject the request for the recall petition. Therefore, the motion is dismissed, denied. Motion is approved, excuse me. All right,
Hey.
we'll go to item number 5A5. Is anyone from the mayor's office here? No? Do we have the petitioner present? Is anyone from the mayor's office or the petitioner present? Pardon me?
Which one are we talking about now?
We're talking about Mayor Duggan.
Ah, yes.
What is your name, sir?
Alonso Del Arte. I'm petitioning.
Okay, would you like to briefly give us a statement in terms of what you're asking us to do today?
Yes. On January 30th of this year, Mayor Duggan made a promise to me and to other Detroit residents, and it's a promise that he has not fulfilled. That's my statement.
Thank you very much. Does anyone from the mayor's office have anything you wish to add? Hearing none, do we have a motion at this time, members of the commission? I will move that the recall petition as offered here in this matter lacks sufficient clarity or to confirm that it should be granted. It states you could be hired tomorrow, said it's a promise. From where I sit, that's a substantive statement that you're offering that is not consistent with what is intended by way of the recall statute. Therefore, I'm offering a motion to reject the recall petition. Is there a support?
Support.
Do we have any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to a vote. All those in favor of this motion, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Therefore, the recall petition offer is denied.
Thank you for
As
concluding.
you're welcome. Have a good day. As for Gabriela Santiago Romero, if I could, you petitioner, you wish to offer any statement relative to this particular petition?
Yes, the councilwoman is ineffective, pretends to listen, but then doesn't do anything.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Do we have anyone from Councilwoman Romero that's before us? Yes, I think I see her now. Do you have anything you'd like to say, Councilwoman?
Yes, hello, everyone. Good morning. Yes, of course. Given that statement, I do want to just share the many opportunities and engagements that we've done with Alonso del Arte through our office. So we have been helping him since January of this year, essentially get a job. My staff has reviewed his resume, updated his resume. This was in February 21st of this year. Our office has monthly in-person and online calls where we are engaging residents, supporting them with their needs. We also have weekly office hours, which Alonso del Arte has attended at least 4 to 6 times this year alone. And we have been continuously supporting him with resources. We've connected him to Detroit at Work. So
if I could interrupt you for just a minute, Councilwoman. Hello.
Yes.
If I can interrupt you for just a moment. You don't. We're not here to defend whether or not you've done what you promised to do. We're here to determine whether or not the information that's included in the recall petition is clear pursuant to law. And you have the opportunity to basically argue that particular limited point. Do you have any information to that effect?
Just only what I've shared, and
but what you shared is something that's contrary to what we can address. So I'm not sure the value here of your offering an explanation of the services that you're providing for your city council.
Understood. So the way that I'm interpreting this conversation and the petition is whether or not it is clear and true that we don't support, which is why I'm mentioning all the times that we have. But if there's nothing else that I need to share, then I don't need to go into it.
We're not authorized by law to determine whether or not a statement that's included in the petition is true or false. So you're attempting to defend yourself, which is understandable. But the more significant issue is compliance with the law in terms of whether or not the information that's in the petition is clear and factual.
Understood. Not a lawyer, but just wanted to share some facts from my side, and I'll leave it at that.
All right. Thank you very much. Do we have a motion?
Yeah, yes, Mr. Chairman, I have a motion. I like to because of the I wanted to.
You have a question for the petition?
Make a motion to reject this petition for lack of clarity, and I just want to mention that because I think it's very vague, and the petitioner did use the language vague in his petition, and I wanted to say that I feel that the actual petition itself is vague, so I want to reject it because of lack of.
All right, there's been a motion made to reject the petition for recall. Is there a support?
Support.
Is there any discussion among members?
If I may, Mr. Chair, as it relates to petition 5A, the one for Mayor Duggan, as well as 5A5 and 5A6, just to piggyback, and I want to make it clear as a resident of the city of Detroit that is very aware of things, that both of these were very vague and they were more opinionated, if I may, having true teeth or substance to it. But I just want to make it clear as a resident, I am aware.
All right, thank you very much. Any other comments?
I have just a quick question, process-wise.
Well, just hold on a second. We're in the process of making a determination relative to this petition for recall. Any further discussion? Then all those in favor of the motion as offered, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's unanimous then that the recall petition as offered is denied. We'll move now to new business. Do we have any new business?
We do. There was a recall petition filed on Detroit Councilman Benson by Stephen Shelton. And we need a date and time by the end of the day today.
Okay.
We can resend the email. Right.
You sent it up this morning?
We sent it out Friday.
Okay. All right.
So it should be between July 31st and August 10th. We can resend that.
Thank you. All right. Any other new business? Any public comments?
Please raise your hand.
Yes, and please identify yourself for the record.
Do I need to stand in front of
You
me?
can be comfortable there, that's fine.
Oh, okay, great.
What's your name, please?
For the record, my name is Ruben James Crowley Jr.
Okay.
Okay, and in regards to the recall petition that was filed for Scott Benson.
That's not before us yet.
No, but I can't comment on whatever.
Not on whatever. You have a chance for public comment, but hopefully it's relevant to what's before. So.
Okay, so
Tell me.
before you is a recall for Mike Duggan before you,
We've already ruled on that.
and the ruling was.
We denied the petition for recall.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, then my comment is this: we got absentee ballot fraud going on here in the city of Detroit on a scale that's conclusive proof of a resident who moved out in 2017. He moved to Macomb County, but he's still on the voter rolls in Detroit, and he's voting in 2020, 2021, 2022. We know he has never voted in any election whatsoever and doesn't even know what an absentee ballot is, but he's voting absentee over on Boulevard. Now, the Elections Commission, when we called, they said that he came into the office on Grand Boulevard, requested an absentee ballot, left with the absentee ballot, and then subsequently mailed it in. Well,
May I ask if I can interrupt for just a moment? Are you suggesting that this individual broke the law?
I'm suggesting he don't know nothing about voting at all. So somebody, obviously, somebody is doing this, and I think it's right there on Grand Boulevard at the elections office. The only place you will find the thousands of absentee ballots necessary to effectively cause the change in the election determination.
It sounds like you're alleging that there's been some fraud committed.
And not alleging, it's concrete.
Let me just finish. And you certainly can make that allegation, but this is a body that's designed to address ministerial issues. We don't make judgments. For example, you may have heard, we don't make a decision about whether something is true or false. That's something that has to be addressed by way of filing a complaint either with the prosecutor's office or the attorney general's office if you believe that there's some fraud. We don't have the teeth. We don't not only have the teeth, we don't have the legal authority to address exactly the concerns that you've offered. So if you excuse me, I've accepted your comment, and it is for the record. You can certainly proceed to take what you've gotten from us and act on it as you deem
Can I ask
appropriate.
a question?
I'm not gonna, it's not gonna be this is opportunity for public comments. You've had a chance to make your public comment. And I think that we've satisfied the requirements of the law in terms of addressing your particular concerns. So unless we had others who wish to offer any public comments, if not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And supported. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adjourning this matter, please signify by saying aye. Aye. We are adjourned. Sir, thank you very much.
11:02 a.m. Thank you.
Mhm.
Question. Can I ask
Recording
you,
stopped.
Where are you, sir?